Damn, sounds like it wasn't like trying to give him a hickey. She was trying to like Dracula this man. Good lord. And she did not take kindly to that whatsoever.
Penis. Following this, Amy would go on to upload her video discussing the night, where she would completely
Tier
dox
1
the guy in the comment
Metatron.
section with his Facebook page and telephone number, after which he would be harassed by Amy's YouTube audience. In somewhat of a hilarious act of karma, Amy would then go on to get into another relationship, which would ultimately end in separation after Amy's YouTube audience decided to get involved.
I hope y'all guys are happy. David just broke up with me.
Nice.
Because everybody was harassing. Now y'all see why I don't tell people who I'm dating. Because y'all bully and harassing. And then he does.
And while this would mark the end of Amy and Tammy's reputational-based scandals, it would ironically mark the beginning of
Holy
all the
shit.
many financial controversies,
Oh my God.
beginning when their audience discovered that the sisters had been receiving government assistance in a video titled Amy's Toxoplasmosis. Amy would explain that as a result of being legally blind, she had been receiving social security payments.
I'm not on disability for... Oh wait, I'm on disability
As you give
because of
sub-dealer.
my eyesight.
It would then be revealed later that Tammy was also receiving disability
psych.
payments for her morbid obesity, which would result in backlash from her audience, stating that they were rorting the system by receiving money from both the government and their job as YouTubers. In addition to receiving money from these two sources, they also began to make money from selling merch, before many would claim that this was also a scam. The merch site was suspicious from the very beginning and read as follows: if you purchase Tammy's merch, you'll be added to a private group chat with Tammy. To purchase, head over to
nice.
the donate section and donate the appropriate amount, $35 for t-shirts, $50 for hoodies, then head to the contact section and email us with the email you used to make the purchase. The reason that the
What?
Slayton sisters requested for purchasers to donate the appropriate amount became pretty obvious. They're definitely scamming the tax system and sliding money to Tammy so she can sell disability from what it seems.
Wait,
I support
what?
a good side hustle.
What? Bro, that's kind of big brain for Tammy. That's very interesting. That is not her idea. Someone must have actually like told her about that shit. That's kind of smart. Cuz it doesn't count as income at that point. It'd just be like a donation.
But this one is super shady. What the
Thanks
hell
for
kind of
some beef.
sketchy ass website is this? I just donate my money and hope to God I get something in return? No tracking or proof of purchase? Refunds? No thank you. This feels like a way to scam the IRS somehow. I didn't sell anything.
Yeah, exactly.
It got worse when fans would come to realize that the sisters hadn't been paying the artists who had completed the designs for the merch. A representative for Tammy would take to Instagram stating, all people who make artwork don't ask to get paid, but to simply get a follow or notice by Tammy. Most of the artwork on the website
Exposure
right now is
dollars.
at blank, our website designer, and at blank again. However, apparently this wasn't the arrangement made with the artists. In an article written about the scam by Showbiz Cheat Sheet, it was mentioned that at least one artist has claimed they requested their art not be used without payment, and have since been blocked and have had their artwork misattributed to someone else. This artist would take to Instagram in a post reading, I wasn't being unfair at all, just saying how my artwork is being passed off as someone else's when I spent time doing it, and I've now been blocked, yet my design is still up on your website. Not really fair at all. All I wanted was credit for it, that's all. As a result of this,
That's reasonable.
Tammy's TikTok with over 1 million followers, on which she had promoted her merch, would be permanently banned. However, this still doesn't make it the most notorious controversy in the Slayton sisters' history, bringing us to the infamous funeral scam.
This is what we got
It
the
began when
cliff notes
Tammy,
on
who was
earlier.
the heavier of the two sisters, fell over in the bathroom before waking up the following day without the ability to breathe.
I woke up and I couldn't breathe. Like, bad. Like, I really couldn't breathe.
And after being rushed to hospital, it will be discovered that Tammy had contracted pneumonia.
I went to the hospital in the ambulance. Took x-rays and a couple hours went by and they told me I had pneumonia and I was gonna have to stay in the hospital.
Whilst in the hospital, Tammy's condition would worsen, leading her to pass out for 3.5 weeks whilst on life support, during which Amy would begin the GoFundMe.
And this
Now,
was all
to Amy's
fake?
credit, it probably was pretty scary having your overweight, unhealthy sister on life
so
support
all of that
for
happened, she
3
just didn't
weeks.
die.
However, to begin planning for the funeral before she had even died was
There's a
almost
tier 1
comically
legend.
pessimistic,
They give subs
which would become
snooze,
even
there's some
funny when
guns and
Amy
Prime
stated
Sun.
that the money was to fund Tammy's triple-size extra-large coffin.
With Tammy being so big, if something does happen, her coffin is gonna cost them more because they have to triple the size of the coffin.
Whilst mentioning that Tammy was on a medical card, however, the amount of money it provided would not be enough.
Is that a real thing? I mean, I guess it has to be, right? I'm guessing they would have to like supersize that. It'd have to be like a custom order thing. Alright, hold on.
Dr. Ducks I would have
Mr.
sex with
Mon
Monkey.
with the 5. Goddamn, thank you, boys.
That always feels good to see the
Thank
Moist
you,
Esports
vloggers. Thank you
Dubski.
for the gift.
Congrats, Moki. I'll go in there and drop some gifties in just a minute. Fuck yeah.
enough to cover the funeral.
She is on a medical card. The medical cards will not cover all of the bills. So this GoFundMe account will be for Tammy's funeral.
Thanks for your
if
sub, senpai.
she dies. So please find it in your heart to donate.
The GoFundMe itself, which would raise a total of $818.
Wow, wait,
this
what?
fund
They asked less for this super quadruple freight container coffin than they did for the MacBook. They had $10K for a MacBook and $1,500 for a super coffin. Yeah, we just watched Moki win. It was good to see. Coffins are expensive, man. That shit is like a crazy expense. Like, the person may have died, but they also took their family down with them with how much you have to pay for the fucking coffins and the whole service.
$818 read, "This fund is for if anything was to happen to her, will go to her funeral. If she makes it through this, the money will stay there or go to her hospital bills that insurance won't pay. I won't ask, but I
Thanks,
don't
the
know what
Prime
else
Eternal.
to do. Please help us, even if it's cents. Thank you and may God bless you." Now, if Amy had approached the situation from the angle of we're just doing this to cover the hospital bills and left it at that, there probably wouldn't have even
True.
been any backlash. However, since she had put so much weight on the possibility of death, and people had donated assuming that she was going to die, when she would return to the videos a few weeks later laughing, joking, and eating junk food as if nothing had ever happened, obviously the audience
Sounds
and
about
those
right.
who had donated weren't all that happy, judging from the 85% dislike ratio on the original
There's a
Whitney
Prime
Blackout
YSP
video.
and they give
It
some
also didn't help
kneecaps.
that in a different video, Amy would reiterate that the money wasn't going to be spent on anything besides the funeral.
We won't be spending it on anything but the funeral. I just wanted to clarify that. Or I'm going to take it up to the funeral home where it can build interest. Or probably will take it to the funeral home and let it build
What?
interest. So if something does happen,
Alright, someone more knowledgeable than me. Can you do that? You can just put money into a funeral home like a bank and it'll gain interest? What? I'm investing in the funeral stock. So that's not a real thing. I can't believe it. You telling me I can't invest in funeral homes? Man, what is the world coming to? What a fucking shame.
we have that as a backup plan.
So when it was confirmed that there was no funeral, a new question had been created. Where had the money gone? Amy would state that she had transferred the money to her mother to pay for Tammy's medical bills.
The money that y'all donated for Tammy when she was in the hospital, I gave it to my mother, who paid bills with Tammy's bills. Regardless if that's what she used the money for or not, that's what I did with it. I gave it to my mother, who paid bills.
However, when her audience would ask her to prove it, she'd state that it was her mother's responsibility to provide the receipts.
My mom is trying to find the receipts, but if she can't find them, that's on mom, not me.
Then in another video
Exhibits
stating that the
Dag
receipts had been thrown out
and
completely.
Carp.
I know I've been wrong. I should not throw
I'll check it out,
receipts
man.
away. But in
Thanks
my
for
head,
some
I wasn't
best
thinking,
boy.
well, these receipts may come to bite me in the ass. You know, I wasn't thinking that. It was a simple mistake.
However, if the GoFundMe had been done online, then surely she was using internet banking. Why couldn't she provide a screenshot of the bank transfer to her mother? Medical bill receipts
these two
don't
are like
seem
just
something
actual
that you
pieces
just
of
throw
shit.
away. It was suspicious that she was
Wow.
unable to provide any evidence for the money going towards the hospital stay, especially when her audience would notice that she also happened to buy a new laptop and a new camper right after the GoFundMe had concluded. At a later date, Tammy would go on to state that Amy's GoFundMe made her angry, as she felt as though she didn't need help.
And when I found out Amy did the whole GoFundMe thing, believe me, I was mad. Cause from one,
Thanks
I knew
for
I
the
wasn't gonna
bits,
die.
Heifer.
And two, I didn't want help. I, not the
Encouragement.
person, want to ask for help.
The most interesting part about the whole ordeal is that while
That's
most
alright,
disgraced YouTubers simply fade into obscurity
That's
as
a Prime
the years
Mirage.
go by, the Slayton sisters have managed to remain relevant after rolling their public image into a TLC show titled 1,000 Pound Sisters, on which Amy has since lost over 100 pounds, has gotten married, had a baby, and is looking healthy compared to her early days on YouTube.
Wow.
Unfortunately, the same can't be said for Tammy, whose continual weight gain underpins
Oh.
much of the show's entertainment factor. The show just had its third season with well over 1 million viewers per episode.
Wow. Whoa. I didn't expect that ending. That kind of caught me off guard. Jesus Christ. Well, yeah, I don't feel as bad for them now after learning about them, like, killing dogs, basically. Neglecting them, putting them in hot cars. So it's hard to find sympathy for where they're at right now.